difficult inside of Instagram. I was about to say LinkedIn. Inside of Instagram to actually make your products and services easy for people to purchase. There's a few ways to get around needing to use a software like Linkin.bio or later, well, later is Linkin.bio, but Linktree or Shorby. The number one way is if you have an e-commerce shop and you can actually link that shop to Facebook, and then your Facebook and your Instagram are both Facebook business page and your Instagram is a business page. You link those two together, and once those two are linked together, you can then use your Facebook shop to actually add products to your images inside of Instagram. Now, up until recently, you had to do that manually, meaning that you couldn't schedule those posts. You would have to, you could schedule them and then try to go back in and tag a product later, or you could schedule them to give you a reminder on your phone, and then you would have to manually go in and tag the product. And that was extremely cumbersome, very difficult, and I will just say it was straight up obnoxious. Like, it was a really obnoxious thing to have to do. And recently we have gotten some software who are able to actually tag products. But even then, I am not experiencing a ton of reliability with the ability for them to tag themselves. There's so many things that the software that are scheduling software, there's only so many things that they're able to do. And so because of the fact that there's only so many things that the scheduling software are able to do, and there are only so many of us as business owners who actually have e-commerce shops, then that puts us in the position of needing something else, needing a software that we can use that will allow people essentially to have a clickable experience with our Instagram without the ability for Instagram to click. Yeah, it's a funky situation. I will tell you that transparently, it took me years and years, probably the majority of the time Instagram has been around, for me to even remotely recommend businesses use it, because it was such a labor-intensive platform. It didn't allow scheduling up until a few years ago. And then even then you had to actually manually go in, like, it would send you a reminder and then you could post. And only the last year, literally the last like 12 months, have you had reliable scheduling with your scheduling software to Instagram. They really just have been reluctant to let businesses actually use the platform to help make money, or to automate the processes and to make it easier for businesses to use. And so for me, I always say, unless your customer, and this is true even though I'm going to show you how to use Later, or show you what Later is and why maybe you should think about using it, none of this matters if your customer is not a Instagram user. Goodness gracious, LinkedIn. If your customer is not an Instagram user, none of this matters. The sun is coming out. So if your customer is not an Instagram user, then don't worry about it. Just ignore the rest of this, because it won't matter. You do not need to spend this money. You do not need to do this if your customer is not an Instagram user. If they are, on the other hand, then this may be the best thing that has ever happened to you. And so we're going to talk about it. We're going to see how we can use it, how it can actually help you if your customer is an Instagram power user, and you then need to be on Instagram for them. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen real quick. That's what I'm doing right now. And we are going to look at Later. Again, of all of the software that are doing the link in bio situation, I would say Later is probably your best bet. And I would say that it's your best bet because it actually allows you to schedule and have a link in bio. And when you do add your link in bio and allow people to like click on it, what essentially comes up, and this is the part that's kind of fantastic that no other software is really doing. Buffer is trying, they're working on it, but Later is like the brand that kind of created this world. Or I should say Linkin.bio is the brand and Later bought them, is the brand that created this world, which is that when they click on the link in your bio, they essentially go to what looks like an Instagram feed. And that it looks exactly like your Instagram feed. And then every time they click on something, they can actually go directly to the link. So it creates this kind of secondary world where they can click through and actually get access to exactly what looks like your Instagram feed. So if they came from an image, like they saw an image on Instagram and then they thought, oh, I want to buy whatever's in that image. Like I want to buy those sunglasses, or I want to buy that pug, those glasses that were on that pug. That's the one that I want. if they came from that image, when they click the link in the bio, instead of them having to find it on your website, do a specific search, any of that sort of thing, they can actually look at this image, this website essentially that's being created that looks just like your Instagram feed. And then they can click on the picture for the pug and go straight to those glasses. So you don't have to create a world where you're explaining exactly what you're doing and which link it was they clicked on and all that stuff, which you would have to do with Linktree or Shorby or any of the other link creating software, or if you're going to do it yourself manually. So there are some people who are like, I can do this myself. I don't need a Linktree or a later. And for the most part, this is completely true. You can use YouTube to figure out how to do that. This is a shortcut and it's kind of fantastic. What makes it fantastic, what makes this even possible, is the fact that Later is a scheduling software. So essentially, if you're using Later to schedule your post, then it has it's connected to your Instagram, and it's scheduling out to your Instagram. It has your Instagram layout, and it's mirroring your layout from Instagram. And you have all of your links automatically put in because you kind of added them in. So this little link here, you added that in. So now it knows when someone clicks on it, they have their one thing that they're trying to do on that specific picture. In addition to that, you can actually add multiple links inside of one Instagram post, just like you could tag multiple products. So if you are doing the product version of Reality Now, you could tag a bunch of products. Well, if you are not e-commerce, if you did not have a shop, or you're not doing that, then there's no way for you to tag. And in addition to that, even if you are e-commerce, the example that they're using here is really great, because let's say you're doing what I do, which is I don't sell constantly nonstop. I have articles that people can read for my clients, because I do a lot of client work. So I have articles that people can read and information on the website, ebooks that people can download, things like that. Well, if you have those types of things right now, the Facebook shop version of Reality is completely useless, because you would have to essentially put everything, all of your blog posts, all of your ebooks, everything would have to go in as a free product in your shop. And then they would have to, you'd have to literally create an e-commerce shop that had a bunch of free products that people could just read in order for you to tag them inside of Instagram. And you would still have to manually tag them for the most part, right? It's kind of crazy. Well, with Later, using their Linkin.bio, you could actually do this for free, still not free, but it's included in the scheduling and all that. So if you have a blog post, instead of sending someone always to a sales call to action, you can actually have a non-sales call to action, like 10 hidden gems in Bali, and let people read that article because that's what you're sending them to. Or if you have an outfit of the day video and you would like for them to watch your outfit of the day video, which in the description on YouTube, you have all of your affiliate links inside of that description, then sending them to your outfit of the day video is probably a better bet. Well, with this, you can put your outfit up, put one link on there to the video in YouTube, and be done. Have that whole system set up to go and kind of in a 1-2 step. And that's what makes Later a better option than, say, Linkin.bio or Linktree, and not Linkin.bio, Linktree or Shorby or any of the other ones that you may have heard of. And that's because it allows you to do more while people are still clicking on the same image. And that's something that you really couldn't get before with the other versions of Reality, okay? Now, if you do have a shop and you are selling products, they actually have an integration with Shopify that allows you to create product pins essentially inside of our product images, let me say, instead of product pins, product images inside of your Linkin.bio, so that if you're selling specific products, or you're focusing on a specific product, you can actually create your Linkin.bio page to essentially be a feed for the products that you are promoting right now. And that is something that is not available pretty much anywhere. It also allows you to do the kind of product posts, or the way that you can do it right now manually inside of Instagram. It allows you to do a very similar type of thing, but only, again, if you have Shopify. And it says no Shopify, no problem. You can just link your Instagram post to your product pages. And that's true, but it's exactly what we were talking about a second ago. It's no different really than linking any other thing, like a blog post or anything else. One of the major benefits of using this or any other Linkin.bio type product is that it allows you to measure your return on investment for Instagram. Currently, there are a ton of businesses spending a ton of time on Instagram and not making a ton of money, and they don't even really realize it because they may be getting high engagement, but they're making $0. Like, they're not selling anything. No one's actually buying anything from them. And that's problematic because the purpose of any of these platforms is to make you money. And so if it's not making you money as a business owner, we need to figure out what we're doing so that we can actually get to the point where we are making money. And using a software like Later, which actually has the ability to both schedule and create those links that you can track, fantastic. Just a fantastic bet in and of itself. And you have the ability, again, to track all of these things in Google Analytics. It has a UTM creator so that you can say, I know exactly which of these parameters, I want to track for. It's a very, very useful in that. Now, let's talk about pricing, because you may be thinking, well, this all sounds great, so it has to be crazy expensive. Actually, it's not crazy expensive. We're going to talk directly about this premium plan here, because the free and plus plan, if you are a business owner, they don't allow you to get the Linkin.bio feature. So let me scroll down to it just so that you see. Linkin.bio is not available on those first two plans. So we're just going to ignore them because it doesn't matter. But what you get if you're doing the premium, just that basic premium plan at $19 a month or $16 if you're paying annually. So 16 times 12. And you may know I don't do math, so you have to pull a calculator and figure that out. But if you're doing that plan, what makes this fantastic is that you actually get two platforms. You get two, so you can, it's kind of great. Like, what, you get to use it on two Instagrams, or you get to use it on Instagram and Pinterest, or Instagram and Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, however you want to roll. You get tons of posts that you can schedule out at once. You get the ability to do tagging. They have hashtag management. They have the add a URL feature. They have mentions. You can work with a team, which you can't do on a lot of the other social media scheduling software. You actually have the ability to work on a team. You have analytics. Again, you have the ability to create conversations, which is something that you can't do on most. And again, the link tracking is another useful thing. The ability to do groups, which is a way for you to manage, again, team and other contributors, I should say. So if you have, influencers that you're working with, you can actually manage them in here as well. So yeah, Later is actually a really good platform for this type of thing if you're really interested in kind of amplifying what it is that you're doing right now on your Instagram. Later is a really, really great way for you to manage driving traffic and tracking it without you having to be a DM manager all day long. So direct message manager, meaning that you're telling people constantly, buy my product, and then sending them to direct messages in order for you to send them a link. That's a little bit too manual for me. And when I say a little bit, I am being facetious. It is way too manual for me. I do not believe in that life at all. So because I don't believe in it, I am not going to suggest it for you. Matter of fact, I am only going to suggest that you use a Linkin.bio or later, Linktree, Shorby sort of situation, because otherwise, yeah, you're wasting a ton of time sending links to people using direct message to sell your products, when you could just spend a little bit of money and actually have the ability to jump right over that. Okay, that's it. I actually managed to get it in. So if you have, actually, what I want you to do this week is, if you're using one of these software, please, in the comment section, let me know what type of software you're using. I want to know. I'm interested. What's going on? What are you using? Do you love it? Does it work like Later, or does it work more like Linktree or Shorby? Just give me an idea what's out there. If anybody else is using Buffer, if you're using the Buffer version of this, please let me know. I've been tempted to use it because I do use Buffer occasionally for client work, or even for personal Instagram. So let me know what's going on there. If you like it, maybe I will do a little tutorial on how to use that, or how to use this one if you guys want that as well. So let me know in the comments what you're interested in knowing, what you're interested in seeing. And other than that, have a great and fantastic Monday, y'all. And I will talk to you later. Bye.